May I now invite the Honorary Graduate Joshua Wintersgill to address the congregation.
Two seconds. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Executive Dean, graduates and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? 4 years ago on this very stage, I remember it as clear as day, the sense of relief. My gosh, I have finally finished studying. And now behind me, my fellow graduates who have just finished probably their hardest year of their lives. You will have put your sweat and tears and tremendous amount of sacrifice, self-belief and perseverance into your final year. And you should all be extremely proud of yourselves. It's no mean feat. I've been clapping for the last hour, and with my condition, I probably struggled to clap, and now I've got paper in my hand. So I'd like to take this opportunity to firstly congratulate you all, and if everybody in the cathedral could clap for me, that would be fantastic. If you said to me 4 years ago that I'd be on this stage in front of all of you today, back in the Bristol Cathedral, if you said to me 4 years ago I'd be on stage in front of you today, I would not believe it. It's with great honour today that I'm receiving an honorary master's degree in technology from UE. I would have said, what planet are you on? However, what can I say? If it wasn't for UE and its inclusive culture, the tools and resources that are available to students, and in particular myself as a disabled student, to allow me to develop me to be the best person that I can, in also a fun, vibrant, diverse and safe environment. I know me being up here today may have not been possible without it. So I would like to thank everyone from UE, from the Vice-Chancellor to the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, who also allowed me to join their leadership programme as a student, and to the whole team across the Faculty of the Environment and Technology, and even to the security guards who may or may not have helped me into bed after a crazy night out in my first week at uni. But I'm pretty sure I was doing the wheelchair limbo beforehand too, under the security barriers. But thank you to everyone who has made it possible for me at UE. It is truly a special place. I would like to dedicate this honorary master's actually back to the university to two very special people. The first is Kevin Doyle. Kevin is a brilliant program lead and has the ability to get the best out of students, and his passion for technology is of true excellence. Kevin, he may or may not know it, but he played a critical role in guiding me through university and supporting me when I needed it. So thank you, Kevin, and never stop doing what you do. I would also like to take this honorary master's to dedicate to the late Peter Rawlings. For those who knew Peter within the university, he was always seen as one of the people that tried or gave a lot of constructive criticism to students, but all for the right reasons, helping stimulate out-of-the-box thinking and getting the best out of his students. His passion for technology and most importantly project management was incredible. Peter was my dissertation supervisor in my final year and really brought the best out of me academically. Sadly, after I graduated, he did pass away, so I'd like to dedicate this in his honour, so thank you, Peter, if you're up there, listening down. When we look at the evolution of technology from the Commodore to the Mac desktop, from the Nokia 4410 and to the Samsung Galaxy, and the fact that we're now consuming more information on a daily basis than we have ever consumed in our entire existence, the fact we can have instant gratification on our phones and social media, our ability to shop from our bedroom and have everything delivered to the house next day without leaving. Cybercrime, we look at the recent NHS attacks with WannaCry, phishing and fraud on individuals and small businesses that are costing the UK economy billions every year. We live in a technology world driven by disruptive innovation, full of opportunity, but most interesting I find that what they all have in common is change. So today I want to get across how my personal and professional experience help us better manage and thrive in change. Over the last 26 years, 3 elements stand out significantly to me: time, perseverance, and why. And it's these 3 elements I ask all of you to think about and reflect on during or even after today, and whether it's on a personal or professional level. Have any of you had a time in your life where you wish you had appreciated or made most of the time? Well, I have spinal muscular atrophy, which is an aggressive muscle wastage condition, which I was diagnosed at 18 months old. I've always struggled to walk, but I could, and at the age of 6 I got my first electric chair and was fully reliant on my wheelchair by the age of 10, and have been unable to stand for the last 16 years. I can still feed myself at the moment and do what I need to do, that works thanks to technology. But ironically, out of all the deterioration, my ability to do things for myself may become worse over time. I have always pushed myself to appreciate time and make the most of what I have, as I know one day in the future most of it may be taken away. So why not appreciate what you have today and work as hard as you can as if today was the last? Have any of you also had a time where you wanted just to not do it anymore? For instance, graduates, I'm sure you've had the time in your final year you just wanted to stop but knew you were so close, but just kept going. Well, for me, perseverance plays a very important role. For instance, I knew I wanted to go to uni, and I'll never forget the iconic moment that my dad put me to bed at university and the door closed. The sense of initial isolation, no uni friends yet, and not having your parents just to call on when you want something. But the thought of doing limbo under the barriers kept me going. So the following morning I had a random carer put me into bed whilst having to explain my routine in absolute detail. The first 6 months of uni were the biggest test for me in terms of perseverance, to the point that I actually nearly quit university. I wanted to be independent, move away from home, and do what every other student who wanted to do at uni. So I persevered, and funnily enough, graduated 4 years later. Within 2 months of graduating, I landed myself a graduate role as a cybersecurity manager. I was managing a team of 30 employees and around 15 contractors, delivering cybersecurity solutions into the public sector. However, 2 years into working full-time, I realized the role was not giving me personal fulfillment. I felt I couldn't see any output. And in the summer of 2017, something quite incredible changed after drinking a bottle of Corona by a swimming pool in Tenerife. I was reading a book called Start With The Why, written by the fabulous guy called Simon Sinek, who talks about the golden circle, and I highly encourage everyone to read it. The most fundamental part about the book is looking at why and why we do what we do. Because when we know why we do something, this helps us drive how and what we do to achieve our why. And so I asked myself this question at the time, and I couldn't really answer it, apart from the obvious. It was a job, and it was paying very well. But I thought, so what? So the lager started to kick in, and I was reflecting furiously on how fortunate enough I have been to see some wonderful countries. However, with my disability deteriorating, travel as a wheelchair user had become extremely challenging, to the point I needed lifting under the arms to transfer onto the aircraft, which is extremely undignified, very embarrassing and extremely painful. And I did a quick Google search and nothing returned for what I had envisaged in my head. So no sooner I got off the plane from Tenerife that year, back in 2017, and the journey began. It was a very strange journey, in fact, because I was still working full-time and I had carers coming in every day to help me, so I didn't actually have that much time. Yet I persevered, and I did my research and I did my business plan. I used Business West in the local community with expertise around intellectual property, prototyping. And I designed this product that goes into the wheelchair to enable me to transfer onto aircraft. And I applied for the UK Disabled Entrepreneurs Award, which is run by the founder of EasyJet, Sir Stelios Hadjianu and Leonard Cheshire. To cut a very long story short, I won that last year in 2018 and got £30,000 investment into the business. About a week after that, he invited me to London for an investment opportunity with Easy Group and a license deal, and you'll now see us branded as Easy Travel Seats, which is quite remarkable for somebody of my age to have somebody like Sir Stelios behind me and investing into my business. In the last 5 months of trading, we have got people to swim with dolphins, get on boats, sit on the sand at the beach, and have since been nominated the Great British Entrepreneur Award by NatWest Bank for Young Entrepreneur and Entrepreneur for Good Award. We all go through change in our lives on a personal level, but in our technological-driven world, it's happening every day in order to adapt to this change. I believe we need to have a clear understanding of our why, as our why enables us to know our boundaries and our purpose, which when things change around us, help keep our focus on what is important to us and our self-fulfillment. Time, we need to appreciate what we have for today and work harder as if today was the last, as before you know it, it's too late. And also, persevere. Never let anyone around you say you cannot do something, or you may think everything is going to plan and you get hit by a curveball. And always remind yourself why you're doing something. Appreciate what you have got and persevere, as this will give you the tools you need both personally and professionally to help adapt to change. So graduates, and to everyone else in Bristol Cathedral today, when you leave here, please remember change, why, time, and persevere. And let me leave you with a quote, and I believe you it's not cliched, but Stephen Hawking once said, "The measure of intelligence is the ability to change." Thank you. Oh, sorry.
That was lovely.